Hello everyone, it's Pereira Oluwafemi, David here, and I'm back with my economics economics lecture or tutorial. Now, today I want to talk about how the European Americans, how they conquered Africa, and the way out of the colonization, because the colonization is still going on. If you like to admit it or not, it is still going on. Now, I'll tell us how it was done and how, how it can be stopped. Now, it all started with the Europeans because this European America, they come from lack, a place of lack. There is no food, there is no water, there's nothing. They don't have anything. The only thing they have is cold. And guess what? That cold, it kills them. And that's why it is in our own educational curriculum that the basic things you need for survival is shelter, food. Shelter is not the basic things you need for survival in Africa. Because if you are homeless in America and you are outside, the cold will kill you because their weather is not good. Nothing is good there. They don't have any wealth. But in Africa, some of you would know some madmen in your area that doesn't have house. And those madmen, since when you small, you don't grow now, don't mind, don't get children, still know those madmen. And they don't get apartments. But you cannot do that. It cannot happen in foreign countries because those places, the West, is a place of lack, is a place of, it is hell. Let me put it that way. The West is hell, Africa is heaven. That heaven in the Bible, that's Africa. It's a land flowing with milk and honey. It's a land of wealth. There's gold, there's cocoa, there's diamond, there's tin, there is coffee. Everything is in Africa. Now, this European America, you know the way there's this theory that energy doesn't die, it can only transform. I'll explain. Like energy cannot die, it can only transform. For example, water now. Water can transform to ice. You see this thing that is water, that is liquid. It cannot turn to solid. And that same solid can still transform back to liquid, which is water. You see that the water did not change. It's only just transforming. Now, that same water can still turn to hot water, boiling water. So you see that it's still water, but it's taking different, it's like you get the whole gist. Now, wealth too cannot be destroyed. Natural resources cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed to another thing. So remember that I said all these Oyibo that they don't have anything is lack. Is in Africa, every land can grow because Africa is a land flowing with milk and honey. So it can grow. In the West, not every land can grow. So now these people now look at how can we transfer the wealth of Africa to our own self and now put Africa in poverty. Then I say, okay, there's a way that we can do this thing. Now, you know there's this theory that says that Oyibo used to tell us everything they do in their movie. That is actually true. I want you to go and watch Mad Max Furiosa, the new Mad Max. The movie opened with Africans. I'll just explain it as it is to you. These people that you are seeing, these are the Africans. They have everything they need and they are happy. And they've been like that for 6,000 years. So this is the 21st century, right? So from the first century to, let's say, 20th century, okay, let's say for 6,000 years that everybody has been, because everybody has been existing for over 6,000 years. But let's say for 6,000 years, the Europeans, Americans, they've been in lack for 6,000 years. And for 6,000 years, Africans have been in excess. They have food, they have fish, they have cocoa, they have gold. There's this conspiracy theory that says that African children used to play with gold on the streets. Now, this European American now look at how can we collect the wealth of these Africans so that we will have wealth and we will now give them poverty that we will have. We'll give them lack that we will have. The first thing they now devise is that they did two things. The first one is they now said, okay, what have we been doing since our, remember everybody has been in existence for 6,000 years. European Americans have been in existence for 6,000 years. They've been living in lack for 6,000 years. And Africans have been in existence for 6,000 years as they've been living in wealth, flourishing. And how do they live? One man, many wives, many children. And at the back of his house, he has farm that is producing the food for the whole family. So there is no struggle for survival. There is no financial pressure. So for 6,000 years, every African was doing what they like. So some people decide that, you know what, we, now baskets, we will just feel like we weave. And they perfected weaving of baskets for 6,000 years. Some community, it is, that thing that is, that the head, the Benin head, this, I've forgotten this bronze something, the head. Some Benin people felt, you know what, this is what we can do. It actually started from Ife. According to one of my uncles, it started from Ife. But then it was the Benin people that really specialized in it. And they perfected it for 6,000 years. Some people is tie and die, and they perfected it for 6,000 years. Some people is farming. They perfected farming for 6,000 years. Some people is music. They perfected music for 6,000 years. Some people is painting. They perfected painting for 6,000 years. Now, ask me, what do the West perfect for their own 6,000 years? Remember, they are from lack. They don't have anything. So what they could only perfect is something that can help them get what does not belong to them because they don't have anything. And that's why they've perfected weaponry. They've perfected machinery for 6,000 years. They've perfected lies. They've perfected deceit, because if you don't have, you have to deceive another person to collect from that person, because you don't have. They've perfected deceit. So you see the way Africans perfected art and craft. Until today, we are still the best in art and craft. They've perfected science and technology and deceit and lies and ways to get what does not belong to them for 6,000 years. How do you know they perfected weaponry? If you watch their film, you see that all these, their old films, everybody old films is like a representation of what used to happen in the past. If you watch Nigerian old films, you will see farm, you will see adire, you will see our culture, because that was how. If you watch Yoruba movie, you will see adire, you will see yam, you will see vibrant fruit, you will see color, you will see abundance. You will never watch any Nigerian old film or representation of old film or an inspiration of an old film that you now see lack, because there was no lack in the onset. It was excess of abundance. It was. So if you see people farming, you see a lot of yam, you see a lot of women around cooking in the kitchen, because they don't marry one wife. Everybody was sharing. It was peaceful. It was happy. Now, the Europeans now said they on their own hand, because they don't laugh, they don't have. Everybody lives in isolation. So if you live in isolation and you don't have, you have to protect the little that you have. So some of them, if an average white man, European American, one wife, one woman, and the reason they are marrying one woman is because they don't have enough to marry two. Now that they've successfully transferred the wealth, they are more monogamous. They are more Check the statistics. Just say, this guy they lie. Check the statistics of men that cheat on their wife in West. Check it in Africa too. It has increased now. It's like you will see that everybody is cheating on everybody. As if they fuck person wife, then they fuck your wife. As if they fuck person babe, then they fuck your babe. Because they've scattered the whole system. So now, in the old days, that's why if you watch their movie, they've perfected the art of removing gun first and shooting. If you watch all those films, Now, who first shoot? Because in the African culture, we have so much abundance that if you in the Yoruba culture, if you see a stranger, that's the way you don't know. You have to say, "Ha, arákùnrin, níbo lò ń lọ? Kí lorúkọ rẹ? Àti ìlú wo lo ti wá? Jókòó, jókòó. Gba omi, kọ́kọ́ mu omi ná. Kí lorúkọ rẹ?" You have to welcome stranger and offer them water because you have enough in abundance. So you have to welcome strangers. That was what we were doing for 6,000 years, and that thing don't master us. And that was how they were able to get us because we were nice, we were naive. And it's not naive, it's our culture. Something that you've been doing for 6,000 years, and somebody just decided I should change it in 100 years. Now, what is their culture? They don't have. So if you see a stranger, you shoot at that stranger first. Because in your head, that stranger wants to come and collect what you don't have. So it might be that now only rice, one delica, now you and your family go manage for 1 month. So if you see stranger, the first thing will go come your mind now, over rice, so you shoot the stranger. So for 6,000 years, they perfected shooting. As a matter of fact, it started with, how can I kill this person before this person will kill me? So they do one gun. They now look, there's still nothing. How can I go to another place? Because those places, I don't know what they have. They might be plenty. How can I kill 2 people with one gun? They invented double barrel gun. They now look, no. We still don't have anything. How can I kill multiple people at the same time? They invented machine gun. They now look at, no. How can I be killing people like just drop one thing and 100 people go die? They invented bomb. Now, 6,100 years later, they've invented something they call missile that can kill the whole world. Look, no matter how you want to deny it, everybody is exactly like their father. You are like your father. We are like our ancestors, and that's why they keep using us. Now, remember, I want to give you how they conquered Africa. Now, they now study Africa. When they came, it was not they that discovered Africa. It was we that discovered. You know, we now we get everything. It was Mansa Musa that carried gold. So they do fine barra for everybody. Mansa Musa was the first person that discovered the whole world. He was the one that first discovered Europe. As a matter of fact, when Mansa Musa entered Egypt, they said the economy of Egypt collapsed because of they were sharing gold for everybody. When this man reached Europe, they come to see, what? What? If you watch Mad Max, remember when they captured that girl? That girl is the one from Africa. And they took her. They said she's a place of abundance. Nobody could believe that there's a place like that exists. That was how Europeans felt when they discovered Africa, when they came to Africa, when they saw Mansa Musa in Europe. They were like, what? So remember that for 6,000 years, these people have been in lack. Guess what? And they've perfected weaponry. They've perfected the heart of hurting people because they don't have anything. They've perfected the heart of wickedness. And they are exactly like their forefather. You think Hitler, you think the spirit of Hitler is still there in some people in Europe? They don't die. Energy does not die, it will transform. And that is why you don't have to be with your father. As a matter of fact, me, for example, I never lived with my father for more than maybe 6 or 8 months. But guess what? At some point in my life, I started seeing the characteristics of my father that I was hearing from people. I started seeing it in my life. So I was stopping the bad ones and improving the good ones. But if you think you are not like your father, you are joking. As an African, you are joking. So now, the first tool they did was, how can we deceive these people to stop what they have perfected for 6,000 years, to come and start doing what we have perfected for 6,000 years? You see, that is a disadvantage game. So for 6,000 years, you've been learning how to shoot gun for 6,000 years because everybody passed it down to their generation. The first car was not as slick as the car you are driving now. If you see Mercedes-Benz 2024 E-Class 7C, that was not how Benz started though. Somebody olden days don't do one kabu kabu. e no work. If you say na grand pikin, we can't do another one. They kept improving on it. Till now, they've perfected cars, they've perfected aeroplane. The first aeroplane was not like this. The first aeroplane was tata kuku, push and start, they go push and before it go start. But for years and hundreds and thousands of years, they perfected it. So it is engraved in their blood because whatever you perfect as a man, once you give birth, you pass it down to your son. So if you're an evil person, there's a chance that your son will be evil. So that's why in this life, you hear people say, friend they betray, friend they betray. Go and check any friend that betrayed you. His father betrayed his own friend too. And you to check your life. Somebody betrayed your own father too. So you have to do that. You have to guard up as an African. Because it will continue. So what did these people do? When they came to Africa first, to start stealing the wealth of Africans. Remember, we are nice people. Now, Christopher Columbus, they've seen they celebrate that man till tomorrow for America. What did this man do? Ask me, what did this man do? The first time this man entered India, and he relates with the people of India. The first time this man relates with Indians, he wrote a note back to America that, what? These people are fools. You can actually tell them that, what is this? This is tea. They say, no, it is tea. You want tea? You want tea? And Christopher Columbus will say, look at this pretty girl. They say, oh, that is my granddaughter. That is my granddaughter, Punjabi. You want her? I can give you as a wife. I have 75 daughters and 65 wives. Christopher Columbus will say, he never see one woman for like 60 years because there's nothing. The population, God, they don't get population. They don't always have population because they always lack everything. That's why you hear in the news that this community is offering people money to come and live there. They are always in lack, and they are always looking for the treasure of other people to steal it. So Christopher Columbus told these people that these people are actually fools. Now, what will make somebody think you are a fool for helping him? So they'll say, these people are actually fools. If you ask them for anything, they are so nice that they will give you anything. They are so nice that they will allow you to do anything. Now, they are not nice. It's because for hundreds of thousands of years, they have perfected having no need to not give somebody something because they have everything in abundance. So why would they not give you water? Why should a Yoruba man see a stranger looking tired and say, or shoot like, hey! If you watch American film, if they see person for their yard, like they go shoot, hey, get out of here, you son of a bitch, cocksucker. They don't get anything, so they go pursue anybody. For Africa, if you see people they pass like this, see, no joke. When I was at Kwara State Polytechnic in 2013, one day it was during an exam, we were having night class. For that night class, me, I know they do night class, I know Sabi read. So if I go to night class, I just follow them, my friends, I will sleep. But I was very intelligent. Now we reach the night class. Me, I don't sleep as usual. From my sleep, I just a passive amala, F4, ewedu. I said, what's going on? As I wake up, lo and behold, I saw people eating. In the middle of the night, I checked my phone. I was using Turner Survey at that time. It was around 2 midnight. People were eating. The whole class was filled with aroma. And it was dark because it was midnight, so there was no light. It was one passage light. If you know Kwara Poly, it was Ibas. It was Ibas complex that night. People were eating amala, eating semo, eating away. But because I just wake up and they look say, "Shey no be say I don't do another realm like this," because it's abnormal. That's never happened to me since I was in Kwara State Polytechnic. That we will go for night class and people will be from nowhere food just so I did not even bother to go and say, where na seafood or anything. Some of my friends were eating, but me, I just sleep back saying, we call them akpa. Now, the next morning, we woke up very early because me, I was staying at Starway, okay. So all of us, when we stay outside campus, we'd be like 7 or 8. We now walk. We used to walk. We walk from Iowa, we walk all the way to Gates as we were going. So I was now asking my friend that people were eating in the midnight. Like, how come we now say that one person was doing wedding? and those tribes, I think it's Igbira, that they used to do their wedding for 7 days. And I said, they are not sharing food. He said, yes, now that they share food for everybody. Guess what? As we were passing front of gates, we saw those, it was the house that they were doing something longer. And guess what? All we did was, Ekushema, we just greeted them. And this woman said, they forcefully invited us that we should come. It was not even, it was not bright. It was around 6. I beg, if you're part of this clique when this thing happened, just comment for this video if you see this video. They invited us to come and eat. All of us, they put mat for outside like this. It was around 6:30 a.m. It was not bright. They brought out amala. They brought out different variety of food. It was then I now believe that, okay, it was not magic. It is real life. I chopped semo. Guy, I'm telling you the facts. We ate till we were filled. And by the time we finished eating, we ate for like an hour. That was us, like it was like a buffet. And after eating, as we were trying to stand up, one person came outside and said, rice is there, did you know Shema rice? I was like, what? Because me, I've been Lagos based. And Lagos has been so Europeanized to the point that everybody now acts like European, like they lack. So everybody is greedy. If you go to if you go Lagos Island, if you know where Ankara, they just Semo, because they have the mindset of lack. They believe that if you give everybody, you go finish. Now lie. If you give people who need them, because nobody everybody go come collect them. So you see boys, they go to party, they make them feel like they are nobody. They fit tell them they stand for 2 hours first before they'll give them one rice inside nylon. Whereas for a learning that is not too westernized, they still believe in sharing. Now, it will be easy to colonize the learning than to colonize Lagos. So now this European America come say, now, how can we make these people stop doing what they have perfected for 6,000 years and come and compete with what we have perfected for 6,000 years? They now introduce science and technology. They now say, you should learn law, you should learn economics, you should learn philosophy, you should learn psychology, you should learn medicine and surgery. They've been doing medicine and surgery for 6,000 years. You think you can compete with them? Even if Africans, people that have melanin, our brain is always working at super high speed than their own brain. Because their own brain has been compressed to evil with the code. Some they melt our own evil away. So we are nice people. Now they say you should do law. Do you know why we don't do law for 6,000 years? Because I realized that if a group of people live for 6,000 years, they have been able to master everything they need as a society. If Africa did not have law institution for 6,000 years, is because they were so nice people that there was no need to create law. Because if I buy land from Mr. Taiwo, I go just tell Mr. Taiwo, say, Alpha, Mr. Taiwo, I don't buy this, I don't pay. We shake hands. Or we pour go for the land. Or people baba Mr. Taiwo, sorry again. Or you keep foul. Or you do something that, look, I've paid you for this thing. And this is a confirmation that I've paid you for it. You have no right to come here. The God of our land is our witness. They're not born Mr. Taiwo to enter that land again. So now they don't say, no, don't use God. God is, if you use the God of your land will kill Mr. Taiwo if Mr. Taiwo betray you. They now say, don't use the God of your land. Use lawyer. So just give Mr. Taiwo the money. Mr. Taiwo will write receipt for you. Whereas, Mr. Taiwo can go and say, no be me get money. Now we'll come the fight am for court. You see that they are just creating, they just created problem. And that problem, they've created it everywhere. So now, they will now tell Africans that, look, you people don't do crafts. Don't do tie and dye. Don't do music. Don't do art. Don't do bronze. Wear suit and tie. Don't wear adire. Don't wear beanie dress. Don't practice your culture, because you can say I have successfully colonized someone when that person leaves their own culture and cling to your own culture. And that's the first thing they did. So the first thing they did is to change our culture. And how did they change the culture? It was not easy. We are not that stupid. Africans are not that stupid. Don't let anybody deceive you. We are not stupid. So when they say, if people to change your culture, all the obas, all the chiefs, they were like, why would you say we should change our culture? You know, they mad. Since our culture is self-sufficient for us, if you want to buy our art, bring money, we'll sell it for you at the right price. And then everybody will be good. And then if you too, you have science and technology. You've perfected science and technology. You have gone, they brought glass. People were wild with the glass. The way everybody was wild with the glass, with the comb, with the shampoo they brought, that was how they were wild when they saw those Benin artifacts. As a matter of fact, they were more wild. But guess what they did? Remember, they perfected the seats, because if you don't have, you have to perfect the seats to collect what is not yours. So when the Obas and all the people said that, no, we cannot just allow you to start deceiving people. They now, because they know Africans are very spiritual and they like women, because they saw people that everybody is having four wives, everybody is having five wives. Then I said, we can use women to get these people. Remember one Chinese emperor that married all his daughters to different emperors, and then secretly tell those daughters that all this is your husband, make sure you kill them in war. So this Chinese emperor, he has many daughters. He will now marry those daughters to different other emperors. He will now tell those his daughter that in war, make sure you isolate your husband so that he will die. So that by extension, I will be the emperor of this kingdom, and I'll be the emperor of your own kingdom, which you have already killed your husband. You to kill your husband. And guess what? All the daughters killed their husband. So the man was now controlling the whole kingdom. That's how European American operates. So they will bet on your niceness and your naivety. Second, they will give you woman wey go come kill you. I know these things because it is the truth. And you know, see, it's still happening till today. It's happening in church. It's happening in church. They weaponize sex and they weaponize isolation. So before they will accept you, they will give you woman. Or if they don't accept you finish, they will give you woman. They'll give you that woman. Anytime you are going off, they can use that woman to destroy you. And that was how they got Africa. So they use woman to get all the current chiefs and all the current obas and killed all of them. Go and check the history of Africa. The first obas and the first chiefs and the first controllers of all the people they met in Africa, they killed all of them because all of them no agree. They made that they do colonization. They insisted that, look, oh, your glass is fascinating. Oh, your toothbrush. Oh, your gun is fascinating. It's wow. Our own art too is fascinating. Pay for it. Let's pay for it too. And that is how it is supposed to be. But they don't want pay. They want collect them for free. And they are collecting it for free now. So they deceive fellow Africans to kill fellow Africans. So they will now put that fellow Africans will kill. You know that one already had guilt. Remember, they use guilt. They will guilt trip you. So if they convince you to kill person, if they're ready to kill you too, they will kill you. That's why it happened in church. Go and see how churches run their elections. So how do they do it? Divide and rule. If you can divide the people, you will rule them forever. So remember, they killed the first set of obas. They now put their own obas there. So those obas will now divide the community so that the community no go agree. So those obas. So if for example, for church, that if you do choir, if you not get choir group, for that choir group, choir master gets another group where you know they, where larger percent of the group know they will be saying now only 1% of people where they that general group now go dey. That's where they will be monitoring and be controlling the larger group. As a matter of fact, they will now take it further to have two groups so that they will be able to break the group down into so small pieces so that if they are doing what is wrong, nobody can fight them. So if one person say, but this thing is not wrong, we they make 10 million every month for this church. And keyboardists, every day keyboardists they beg for 1K to chop. And they make 10 million, and now they make the music. Remember, they have different groups. So what they will do is once they sense that this one no one agree for us. Remember, there's a chance that in babe, they know about in babe, in relationship with the babe. So they will first try to blackmail am with the babe. Say, they follow woman, the man of God, they follow woman. Whereas that person, if you check it very well, the person blackmailing someone that is following woman, if he be say before him come that blackmail, he can't tell her say he follow. If he be say he don't sleep with woman, you see that is just a pure blackmail. So if they tell you that if they follow woman, then they follow woman pass you. But it's a strategy to keep you in that in that their colonization. So they use that one. If that one no work, then they isolate you. Remember, say them get other WhatsApp group and they don't break all of them down to small small pieces. So they tell every other group that when I don't follow this one play again. Remember as children, if children they play, if one person get power, if he tell the other children say, Emma Belly Shirimo, so they will isolate that particular. That is what they are doing in Africa. So if Ibrahim Tanjuma of one African country decide that, you know what, all these Oyibo, they just they steal of our good. We know they sell good for now again. Because how come Africa wey be say now we they produce the gold pass. We no get gold. France, we no get any gold. Gold don't they come out for France. France have the fourth largest gold in the world. No. The man now said, you know what? Wait. Is either you people are stealing this gold from us, or let me be the one selling the gold. We don't want to have any European country in disguise having a gold company saying, because if you not get gold company for another person country, we not get gold for a country, and you not can't get fourth largest gold for the world. We will get the highest gold. We will produce the highest gold for the world. We they live in poverty. In a way, they don't get any gold, and they live in wealth. So is it that you people are taking this wealth and you are not paying? So let us monitor it. So what would they do? They will first isolate that country. They will tell Nigeria, say Nigeria sanction this country. They will tell South Africa, sanction this country. Men are not follow this country play again. Cut their gas, cut their oil, cut their. That is what they do in church. That is what they do in religious. Is divide and rule. So if you try to say, these people are doing the wrong thing, they will tell everybody to isolate you, that don't follow this one play again, so that you will feel isolated. If now, it dey happen for office too. So, and guess who that they use for office? Admin. So you see everything that they are telling you that they are not doing, admin they do more than you. But because they want to keep you trapped, admin go they fire you. Who is the admin of Europe and America? IMF and World Bank. Those are the admin. That's a story for another day. Anyways, this video not too long. I'll give you a part. So the first way to fight back is don't bow to the intimidation, the blackmail. You don't bow to it, and then you don't stand isolated. You form alliance. You don't stand isolated. You form alliance, and then if you form alliance with the enemy of your enemy, because that's just it. Game is game. You form alliance with the enemy of your enemy. You don't stand alone. If you stand isolated, if you stand alone, there's a high chance that they'll kill you. They'll bring you down. So you don't stand alone, because they don't stand alone. They want you to stand alone, but you don't stand alone. They are not standing alone. They are forming alliance. They are having groups. So you to form alliance with their enemy, because if you stand alone, they will kill you.